Welcome back, everybody, to our newest episode of Slapcast, the podcast for slap happy chaps. Tonight, it is, as always, for the second time, myself, SchwarzTKD,
LegendByDesign,
and we are going to be talking to you tonight about Doctor Strange, which we literally just got back from seeing in the theater. I'm just gonna kick it off with. I was talking to people at work about it earlier today, and just in general, just statistically speaking, how is Marvel able to keep making such good movies?
Who knows?
Like,
they got an X Factor, must be.
They do. I mean, you think of it this way: you throw enough darts at a target, eventually you're going to hit a bullseye. The reverse is true. Eventually, Marvel's going to release a shitty movie. But in almost a decade since this whole thing began with Iron Man, we haven't had a single shitty movie. They haven't all been as strong as each other, but there hasn't been a bad one.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, and I still think it's a funny joke. I think they're just letting Fox make the shitty movies.
Yeah, they could be. Who knows? But I can't really speak to how Fox is making movies lately because I haven't seen a lot of them.
Yeah. But we'll talk about Fox another time. By which I mean probably never. Speaking of Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah, that was definitely it was a movie that made me think.
I love the origin movies.
Made my head hurt. That was definitely a good it's a solid it was a phase 3 origin movie.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
Because didn't this kicked off phase 3, right? Well, no, Civil War kicked off phase 3, technically.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you say this?
Well, because we were joking about it earlier, I still think of Civil War more as an Avengers movie, which in my head puts it as more of a closing for a phase rather than the opening for a phase.
Yeah. No, I think it was more of an event. That was more of an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
So, but that was part of phase 3.
Right.
Whatever. What's the next one?
The next one is going to be either Black Panther or Captain Marvel.
Really?
You know what? While we're talking, I'm just going to pull up the good old Google.
Yeah, we do have that. We do have the ability.
Yeah.
We have the technology.
But while we're just shooting the shit about it, by the way, as always, spoilers. So I just like so many decisions they made were so smart about this, like Mordo, which I have a whole thing I want to talk. Mordo, thank you. Mordo, I got my wires crossed. I got a whole thing I want to talk about with him later, but just right off the bat, they have always done such a great job about having the origin movies reflect the genre of the character. Ant-Man, particularly Scott Lang's Ant-Man, was the last real origin movie before this one.
Yeah, and that was phase 2.
And that was a heist movie.
Mm-hmm.
Thor was the mythological epic. Cap was the war movie. We know those ones. They've been out ages now.
Yeah.
This was the hero's journey, where you see, you see in like the King Arthur's legend kind of story.
Arthurian legend.
Thank you. Could not say that.
Yeah, I could tell.
I was having trouble.
I watched you try and pronounce it, and I felt a little pain for you. Just saying.
You talk for a bit. I'm Googling.
What if I don't want to talk?
Well, maybe you're gonna, because I'm doing the legwork over here on the Google.
Well, you also have the computer in front of you.
Yeah, because it's my computer.
I can't do anything
to
do that, so the only thing I'm really here for is making noise with my face, and I just what does that do? Oh yeah, the last Fox movie I saw. Wait, was Was Deadpool made by Fox? It wasn't. No,
Deadpool was Marvel, but they had X-Men in it. They used some of the X-Men in it, and that was even one of the fourth wall jokes was, which continuity are they in?
Yeah,
Make mouth face noises about Doctor Strange now, please.
No. Okay, well, I think a smart move production-wise. They had multiple Oscar winners in it. or at least some Oscar nominees. God damn, Benedict Cumberbatch.
He was much better than I knew he was going to be solid because the man has acting chops. He was even better than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah. Now his American accent is really good too.
Mm.
I couldn't tell. If I didn't know better, I'd say he was American.
Yeah.
Right? I'd say he wasn't British, but I do not know. I do not know. Next one is Guardians 2.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2, yeah.
And then Spider-Man Homecoming.
Then Thor.
Then Black Panther. Then Infinity War.
They're doing Ant-Man and the Wasp!
Yeah, do you not know that?
No!
You're stupid.
I will punch you. I'm too happy about that. And then they're doing Captain Marvel in 2019. Oh, that's a ways away. Oh, that hurts my soul.
Dude.
No. I will not be quiet. You're the one who wanted to do this right after we saw the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and?
Okay, so let's talk Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah?
Blueberry crumble cake.
No, we can't make a joke like that.
I like the meme about his name. Alright, but anyway. Okay, I know the guy from Sherlock. I know the guy from the not-so-great second Star Trek reboot. And I know him from a few other things. But even seeing his range before, his range just in this movie was very impressive. Alright, let's just... Starts off as the super arrogant surgeon, has this downward spiral after his injury. I liked him the most, honestly, when he was first there, asking to learn the mystic arts, because just the way he was able to project his character's desperation, but still confidence in his worldview. And I'm thinking, too, of just the joke when they open the door and he falls in and then says thank you before the scene cut. Mm-hmm. Just his tone of voice there says a lot.
Thank you.
It wasn't even like that. It was even more, it was even, it was so genuinely, desperately grateful.
Yeah. No, I do definitely like how they, in the start of the movie especially, they focused more on his hands.
Yeah.
And they're just like, and me knowing a little bit of the lore of Doctor Strange, I was thinking to myself, I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. How much Doctor Strange lore did you know about going into this?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot.
I mean, we've both seen the animated movie, which covers it pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much outside of that, honestly, other than he was in the Defenders at one point.
Mm-hmm. I know,
and in the comics.
Right. My basic knowledge of him was that, he has his own run of the comics, which I never got into, but, Sorcerer Supreme, Mystic Defender of the Earth, was a neurosurgeon, although sometimes I've also seen cardiovascular surgeon, but basically surgeon. Gets his hands injured, and instead of healing, he learns the mystic arts. And then I know all the bit about Dormammu and Mordo and the Ancient Wand, which, let's talk about them for a bit. I love the casting decisions they made for that.
Yeah.
I know that this movie got a huge amount of shit a year or so ago when everyone was up in arms because they cast, was it Tilda?
Tilda Swinton.
Thank you. When they cast Tilda Swinton for the Ancient One, who is typically ancient looking Tibetan looking man. Exactly. Mordo, no one really, Mordo, no one really complained about because in the comics, he's typically a white guy. They cast a very talented black actor. I can't pronounce his last name.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly.
Wikipedia!
Yeah. You have that.
I have it right here.
You have the Googletron.
I have it. The Wikipedia-nator.
Doctor Strange film. Well,
I'm going to mispronounce this. Chiwetel he played the operative.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Ejiofor.
Yes, I am butchering his name as well.
Yeah. He played, I know him most from the operative in Serenity.
Okay.
And he was phenomenal in that, but he was a very rigid character in that. He deliberately, as an actor, did not give his character a lot of range for that.
For Doctor Strange?
For Serenity. For this, it was the opposite. He had a lot of range in this.
It kind of had to.
Yeah.
Given the spot that his character was in.
Right. And, well, And just talking about the characters, I really like what Marvel's doing with their origins.
Right.
Like, again, Ant-Man, they started with the second Ant-Man. Doctor Strange, in the comics, it was typically that Mordo had been learning and practicing for years, decades even, was all set to become the next Sorcerer Supreme, gets passed over by the Ancient One to pass the mantle to Doctor Strange. And he gets pissed and rebels because of that.
Yeah.
Well, I really like that didn't happen here, that he had a different reason for rebelling and leaving the Order.
Right. That was a good decision.
It really was, because we don't have to do things just like the comics did anymore. Just the only thing from the comics that really needs to stay constant are the big things, like Steve Rogers being a World War II hero. Because so much of the Captain America character is built around the lore of World War II.
And his just displacement in time.
Yeah, they just keep making that time longer, whereas you have Tony Stark. Originally, in the comics, I want to say it was the Vietnam War that he got hurt in. Now they just keep picking more recent conflicts.
Yeah.
Current conflict in the Middle East.
Right.
Yeah. So I love that they're making changes like that. And then it's the little things, too. I'm still laughing about that Wi-Fi password joke. That was way funnier than it should have been. But
yeah, that was really funny. Ooh, actually...
The way it was delivered, again, by Chiwetel, I'm sorry I'm mispronouncing your name. Chiwetel, the way he delivered the line was just great.
I also liked Mads Mikkelsen.
Who did he play?
He was
bad guy, yeah. He was the bad guy.
Yeah. No, he
was really
he's just
good.
He's also good at playing bad guys.
He was, and just the way that he interacted with other characters, like the joke about Strange's name when they first meet. He just
yes, Mr. Doctor.
No, it's Strange.
Yeah, must be.
I suppose it is.
Yeah,
I'm not one to judge.
It's strange. I suppose it is. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
It really was.
Yeah, that's another thing about this movie. It was just funny.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was funny.
And not funny the way Ant-Man was funny, which was a deliberate comedy. This was just funny because of the little moments that the characters had.
Oh, yeah. There were more than a few of them, too. But they definitely kept everything interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And they felt very organic.
There were a few things I was surprised about, but I expect that they would probably be in the director's cut, because it was already 2 hours long. Some of the things like when his hands are injured and he's trying to find people to help him, there's one line about how expensive it is.
Yeah.
But we never see the way we do in the comics and that animated movie where he's literally selling off possessions in order to pay for more and more extreme treatments for his hands.
We don't see that happening, but we do see his apartment being less and less full.
Oh, okay, we did see that a little bit. I was thinking, like, when we saw the drawer with the dozens of watches, I thought we were going to see those. I thought we were going to see that drawer empty.
Yeah.
Except for maybe one that had sentimental value, which turns out it does.
Yeah.
I imagine that little things like that, if they did them, are probably in the director's cut.
And, the
extended cut, director's cut, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Just because if you need to trim a movie down by a few minutes, those are the scenes to take out. Not plot scenes. Looking at you, BVS.
You never even saw it.
I don't need to.
Yes, you do.
No, I really don't.
I'm not saying you need to see the movie. I'm saying you need to see the movie to be able to make those kinds of comments.
That's fair.
No shit. Dumbass.
My only real gripe was with the filming around when they were punching and kicking each other. The camera moved a lot. And maybe it was just because we were seeing it in 3D and the glasses, I have trouble wearing the 3D glasses over my glasses. Maybe I had a little trouble because of that. I do recommend seeing this one in 3D. The 3D was phenomenal in this.
Yeah, it was definitely very engaging.
Yeah, like they did so many different things with moving actors and background and foreground and objects around. It was nuts. Totally worth the 3D.
Yeah. Think Escher painting on steroids.
On 3D. Crack. On steroids and crack.
Oh, boy.
No, better yet, It's an Escher painting on crack. The crack itself is on steroids.
Oh, Christ.
Yes.
No, that's too much.
Yeah, that was the movie.
It wasn't. Yeah, but the movie wasn't too much. It
wasn't.
All that wasn't just there for people to.
It was there for a reason.
It was there for. It had plot-driven reasons for it to be the way it was.
Absolutely, and it worked.
It worked fine.
So goddamn well.
Yeah.
The fight choreography, I just had a little trouble following because they did a lot of very quick cuts and a lot of camera movement not camera shake like with fucking the hand cam type of movies. Just. It was very rapid cuts, which, considering some of the other choreography we've seen in other Marvel movies, I was just like, I wish I could see this because I'm seeing the magic effects, but I'm not seeing them punch each other in the face.
Well, you may have just answered your own question there.
Yeah.
In saying that it's not a fucking martial arts movie.
That's true. It is not Iron Fist.
No, it's not.
Which isn't even out yet, but I imagine is going to have beautiful fight choreography.
Yeah, I would hope so, because, the whole thing.
Considering how Daredevil had great choreography.
Yeah. The fight choreography of Daredevil was great.
And Luke Cage, for that matter.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah. How about it?
No, I'm just trying to think. Okay. I don't actually have anything to say.
Okay.
But it's actually
and that sums up our relationship.
Fuck off.
So does that.
No, it doesn't.
Not literally.
No.
The sentiment.
I'm not saying it, dude. You're overanalyzing it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to think of. I had something, but
sidetracked away from it.
It was kind of.
Yeah.
Shit, what was it? Wow, this is going to be super fun listening to on the internet.
Well, while you're thinking of that, so before going into this, I was completely off base about what I was expecting the story to be. And that does not happen often to me, so I'm very happy about that.
It happens a lot.
No, it doesn't. I'm good at figuring things out.
No, not anymore.
It's slap you.
MCU changed the game.
It did.
Dude.
It did. And I'm so happy about that. Okay, so with my limited knowledge of Doctor Strange, especially compared to other Marvel characters.
Good thing to do. Good thing to say.
Yeah. So my suspicion was that we were going to have I had a hunch even before they announced it that we were going to have an Infinity Stone in this. But my thought was that it was going to be Dormammu who had the stone, because in the comics, Dormammu is actually more powerful than the Ancient One. The reason that they're able to be at a stalemate is because Dormammu is using the bulk of his power to keep these things, I think they're called the Mindless Ones or the Nameless Ones, something like that. He's keeping them trapped in a hell realm dimension. Because if he wasn't doing that, they would overrun his dimension. And he can't, there's too many of them, he can't stop them. The whole reason he wants to take over Earth is to literally dump them into our dimension. So that he no longer has to hold them back, and he can have access to his full power again. So because he's holding them back, he and the Ancient One are actually evenly matched.
At a stalemate.
Exactly. Yeah. He and the Sorcerer, whoever the current Sorcerer Supreme of Earth is. So, of course, Dormammu, being effectively a demon, gets a lot of his powers from things like souls, which is like, again, we saw in the animated movie. So my hunch was that we were going to have either the time, or I was thinking it'd be more likely to have the Soul Stone, Dormammu using that power to give himself more strength to try and take over the Earth. We got something completely different, and I loved every fucking second of it. I had no idea what was going to happen. It was just a fucking magical roller coaster.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And it was very easily
easy to follow too.
Easy to follow, and very not so intricately woven that it made a difference in the plot.
Yeah,
not that specific information made any difference.
Right. You don't need to know who Dormammu is until it's revealed in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, he's walking around with time infinitely looping around his hand.
That was so great,
and I'm just like, holy shit, Time Stone much?
Yeah, right?
That looked awesome, though, and I'm like, I wouldn't have guessed that if I didn't already know the Infinity Stones were a thing.
Right. Right. I am a little bummed that the Eye of Agamotto itself is an Infinity Stone, because in the comics it's its own relic of power. Not necessarily on par with any one of the stones, but ridiculously OP regardless.
It's to empower the current Earth Sorcerer Supreme.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. So, making it an Infinity Stone itself, my only hope is that in the Infinity War movies, when that stone gets collected by Thanos, I just don't want the eye itself to no longer be a thing, because it's such an iconic part of the character.
Yeah. I want all the I want all the Infinity Stones to be gathered in the gauntlet, and Thanos not even being able to use it.
How so?
He gets dicked over, and then Captain America comes in and saves the day. Like he always does.
I wonder if Cap has ever wielded the gauntlet. I know a select few characters other than Thanos have.
Right.
I don't think Cap is one of them.
No, Cap isn't one of them.
No.
Cap is one of the few that has wielded Mjolnir.
Right.
Beta Ray Bill, there's a bunch of other
That
ones.
was
Eric Masterson.
That was a great credit scene with Thor.
Oh yeah,
the post-credit scene with Thor.
The first post-credit scene with Thor.
Oh Lord, and the
teasing Thor Ragnarok.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And just the way the two of them were interacting, and just not only as actors, but also the little bits that they were bouncing off each other as characters, like with the huge fucking goblet of beer.
Yeah, the refilling.
The pint size. Yeah, the mug of beer that's literally the size of a pint.
No, that's way bigger than a pint, dude.
Okay, was that like a gallon?
That was definitely...
It was huge.
It was a flagon.
Was huge. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It was a fucking flagon, dog.
Yeah. The second one actually made me a little sad. And I'm so used to all these post-credit scenes being fun little happy teasers.
Yeah.
That having the post-credit scene in Doctor Strange tease, rather than a different movie, the next Doctor Strange with a very dark setup showing Mordo's descent into villainy. Mordo. Yes. I corrected myself. I tried to.
Morduo.
More duo.
More duo.
It was a little sad, and I was just like, oh, that...
Yeah, that was pretty...
That was dark.
That was fucked.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, come on, dog. He came to you for help. Why are you dicking him over like that?
Yeah. But, again... It shows a nice, new, and different take on Mordo becoming a villain. He's not just a villain because he's pissed at Strange. If anything, he probably still likes Strange. You know, like I can just see them in the next Doctor Strange movie where they're like battling not only each other, but the fact that they're honestly still friends. Very Magneto, Professor X doctor.
Professor Doctor.
Professor Dr. X.
Just like Proc in the Awesomes.
Oh.
Professor Doctor.
Oh my god. This is why I should
ridiculous.
not podcast late at night.
Oh, shut up, you big pussy.
We're gonna start to... Give me that. Mine!
No.
Give me my Infinity Gauntlet!
It's your goddamn thing.
Mine.
I understand.
Call me a pussy, I take my toys back.
You gave me the toy in the first place.
Mine.
Still a pussy.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, shit.
What'd you do?
There was just a bug on me and I flicked it away.
Okay.
We're good.
False alarm, Internet.
Yeah, it just startled me for a minute.
Yeah.
Whoa! Done. Fuck you! Good days.
What do you think of the... I like that they did not overplay the plot with Christine.
How would you overplay that?
Well, they could have just made it even more. They could have made it too blatant. They could have had like the villains go after her. They could have done a lot of different, very basic, things not to do in writing 101 tropes. But they gave that character exactly what she needed. They didn't undercut her to make her a damsel. She was actually essential to the plot on 3 occasions, which was great. And again, just the little scenes where, like, after the portal closes and we all see the mop falling behind her and scares the shit out of her. All those little scenes made the characters seem so much more real, more than more than them cracking jokes, like if they had tried to imitate Ant-Man would have. Because these characters aren't there to be a comedy. These characters are there to tell a very specific story.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. Very true. I absolutely agree with you there. But
again, so was Ant-Man. They're just telling it in a different way.
Ant-Man's one of those movies that I just did not see until way later. And just fell in love with it.
Well, Paul Rudd.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul Rudd. He's
Rudd.
awesome. He's awesome. How did you not know they were making an Ant-Man and the Wasp movie? Especially after the post-credit scene in the Ant-Man movie.
Well, I knew that the suit was there. I just didn't know they had announced it.
2 and 2, bud. 2 and 2.
Slap you with my Infinity Gauntlet potholder.
Oven mitt. Yep. Good. I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Oh, my God.
You're the wordsmith, bro. I'm just an asshole.
Not at this point of the day.
Oh, please.
You put with my shit.
Be an adult, man. Come on.
For the record, I just threw a candy wrapper at him.
Yeah, for those of you who can't see this, which is everyone.
Oh my God! All right, so I've already said a lot. What do you got? Like, what was your big takeaway or thing that you were hoping or that you would have changed? What was your biggest thing walking out of it?
I'm great. I was.
See, yeah. I'm not the only one who can't fucking talk at 10 o'clock at night.
Hey, no, the time has nothing to do with it. I literally got 2 thoughts in my head and tried to spit them both out at the same time.
So the problem is not the time of day. The problem is that you're stupid.
The problem is that I have a lot to say and it all tries to escape at once.
So you're stupid.
That actually does not mean what that means.
Okay.
Anyway.
So what are your apparently 2 things to say?
Well, I think it mainly boils down to one thing, that I was glad that the character of Doctor Strange was greater than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
In that, like, the little funny moments that he has in between all the, like, either big action sequences or the stuff that, I'm learning, give me learning.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the cape,
yeah,
with the cape of levitation, like that was just so silly.
It really was.
And when he pops his collar up like he's in the fucking 1980s, and then it's just like he's crying and the cape's just wiping away his tears.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes.
I couldn't see the tears.
Yeah, he's just like, stop it. Stop that.
Oh.
Yeah, that added such a different dimension to it.
Yeah.
Those little scenes, especially like with the cape of levitation. And
when he's reaching for the axe and it's trying to get him to go to the other thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's in the middle of a fucking, basically, boss fight.
Yeah.
And it's just a hilarious thing because he's literally running in place because the cape won't let him move.
Right, yeah. It just got it wrapped around his face. It was glorious.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go get, and Doctor Strange is just like, yeah, cape dude, I'm gonna go get surgery now because I got stabbed by this motherfucker. So if you could keep him here.
Oh, well, it was doing that all by itself. It was doing that. Yeah. Right before. I like when they came out.
That's what I would do. I'd just be like, hey, do you think you can keep him here? Because this stab wound isn't going to sew itself up. You know what I'm saying?
I liked after the neck surgery, where Christine walks into the washroom and the cape is just sitting there.
Yep, just hanging out,
chilling, just waiting. Yeah, I'm just like, what the fuck? But yeah,
it knows when it's not wanted.
It was great because you're absolutely right. As the story progressed and he learned more, it wasn't like an instant prodigy thing where he knew everything the minute he walked in the door. He still had to do the research and do the legwork, even though he was learning ridiculously quickly.
He was always one of those people that knew everything walking into the door. And this was a humbling moment. And they explained why he was able to do that so fast. And even at the end of the movie, you had Wong say, it's like, you may be Sorcerer Supreme, but you still don't know everything. And yeah, there's still so much to learn. Yeah, the way he over the course of the second act, really gained all the pieces of the iconic character. Oh God, I love the I love how he was just reading the book in astral form while his physical body was just laying there sleeping. Yeah. And I'm just like, man, that is a great idea.
Yeah.
Like, coffee would never be a thing in college if that were the case.
Yeah.
They'd have students would have so many opportunities to just be like, all right, I'm going to put my body right there and I'm going to study all night long. Wake up, fully rested, and have everything I need.
Yep.
Boom.
Yeah. I like, and just the fact, it was really interesting seeing his character, because his character was one where, as a doctor, he had to know everything and be the best. And how much of that carried into becoming a student of the mystic arts. He's told that he can't get certain books, so he starts taking them anyway.
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh, you're not ready for astral projection. Try me, bitch.
Yeah, he's just like, come on, let me just try this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, oh, look, I already figured out how to do it.
Yeah, right. Although it took him a while to get started. Once he got started, he was just like, oh, that's how it works.
Yeah.
I'm going to be Benedict Cumberbatch all over this movie and act the fuck out of it.
He's one of those actors who can have a huge...
The Imitation Game. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay, hit me.
What?
No, go. Keep running with it.
No, that was one of the other things that he's Alan Turing creating the first computing machine.
Yeah.
Anyway, he got nominated for an Oscar for that.
I read Cryptonomicon that's based off of. It's actually a really good book. So, I think I got it around here somewhere. Anyway, yeah, there it is, actually.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was going to say, he's one of those actors who can have a huge presence and be whatever character you need him to be without chewing the scenery.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't take up more space than he's allotted.
Right, exactly. And that's essential, especially for a lead role.
Yeah.
You know, and whether he's Sherlock or Khan or Alan Turing or Stephen Strange, he knows how to share the screen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that's very important in a project like this, where you're going to be in a film down the line where it's you and 12 other co-stars all in the lead roles.
Yeah, 12 other lead roles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be 13 lead roles. No, yes. Just a number of lead roles that is not just one.
Right.
A lot of lead iconic roles, too. Interacting with each other.
Yeah.
Thor and Doctor Strange, for example.
And again, they interacted so well, partly because Chris Hemsworth is so used to the character now. He can put on Thor like he's picking up a hammer.
And he's just like, dude, I can do this.
Yeah. You
want me to put on a beard? Drink a lot of beer?
For a 5-minute scene. He probably had only one day of filming for that.
They probably didn't have... Yeah, they didn't need much more than
it
one
was
day for
barely
that.
A minute-long scene. He was probably there for just like, hey, Chris, can you come in for the morning?
Yeah.
We have beer.
Fly over from Australia. I don't know if he actually lives there.
Do you want me to look it up?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, goddamn.
Because I'm going to be self-conscious on the internet, just like I always am. It's friggin' ridiculous. And... Thor. Oh, look at that guy. Can you believe he's 33?
He lives in South Wales. New South Wales.
New South Wales.
I didn't even know that.
He was born in Australia.
Yeah.
Okay. New South Wales. Where is New
Son
South
of a
Wales?
bitch is barely older than I am. He lives in Byron Bay, which is in New South Wales.
Which
Jinx.
is in... Okay, so that's in Wales, right?
That would make sense.
Okay. Huh, neat.
Interesting.
I didn't know that. Oh, it's in Australia.
It is in Australia.
It is in Australia.
He lives in Australia.
Wales in Australia. Okay. And he was born in Melbourne. Okay.
Okay, so he does live in Australia.
Yo, can you, fly 22 hours?
For 3 hours of recording?
We'll pay you a lot of money.
Do you think they were even in the same room, or did they just... No, they must have flown.
They must have been.
Yeah.
Must have been.
Yeah.
Probably filming other shit, too.
I'm just wondering, because they only filmed, for that post-credit scene, they only filmed Cumberbatch's face from the front, and they only filmed Thor from a little bit over Cumberbatch's shoulder. So
yeah,
it's possible that they weren't even in the same room.
It's possible. Yeah. Movie magic, editing, and all that.
That said, just the little bit we got there was great. They had great chemistry, and I'm really excited to see Doctor Strange interact with other people. I can't wait for Thor Ragnarok, which is coming in literally a year.
Exactly 1 year.
A year from today.
Wow, right on.
Son of a bitch.
And then, first...
I want more Loki because it has been... God, how long since he was... It has been 3 years since Loki was on screen.
Huh.
Thor 2 came out November 8th, 2013.
Wow.
Yeah. It has been a long damn time.
Huh. Interesting. I didn't know. Huh. Wow.
Yeah.
It's been that long.
It's been almost as long for Guardians, but it still feels like that one just came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2 coming out.
According to this,
May
Ant-Man's
20...
part of Phase 2.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Civil War apparently kicked off Phase 3.
Phase 3. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, with the way they work out, I can see that.
Yeah, and then...
Because Ant-Man was kind of a follow-up for Ultron.
So what's 2017 looking like?
Alright, so we've got... May, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy 2. July, 2 months after that, we've got Spider-Man Homecoming. November, we've got Thor. February of 2018, we got Black Panther. May is the first part of Infinity War. July is Ant-Man and Wasp. And then March of 2000... Oh, wow, then we got a huge gap. We got almost a full year gap. They're probably going to move some of these dates around by that point, I'm sure. But at the moment, March of 2019 is Captain Marvel, and May of 2019 is Untitled Avengers sequel, which is more or less confirmed to be Infinity Wars Part 2.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. And then TV series, just looking back, just for completeness' sake.
Right. Damage Control is something that never got off the ground.
Okay.
That was, it's still in development. That is going to be all about the people who literally clean up after the huge messes.
Yeah.
Agent Carter is over and done with, which is a shame because I loved it. I'm told that this is the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., season 4.
Huh. Last year.
Thank you. Then, of course, we got on Netflix, we've got Daredevil seasons 1 and 2 are already out. Season 3 coming in development, looks like. Jessica Jones season 2 in pre-production. So, yeah.
That's going to be out after The Defenders, I think.
Yeah. Defenders is coming out sometime 2017, as is Punisher. Iron Fist is going to be coming out first in 2017.
March 17th. Oh, yeah.
So... Okay, so basically 2017, we're going to have March is Iron Fist, May is Guardians, July is Spider-Man, probably September, if I had to guess, will be Defenders.
September is a reasonable guess.
Yep. Well, because September is when they did Luke Cage, and then also September would be a decent bridge time gapper.
Right, and we're all looking, and for those of you who haven't been following along, we're just looking at Wikipedia.
Yeah, this is literally all from Wikipedia,
the MCU
which
page.
Is never wrong. Ooh, and we're getting Cloak and Dagger. Ooh.
What's Cloak and Dagger?
I know them primarily from the Spider-Man comics. They are...
Freeform.
They are two...
The new ABC family.
Yeah, they are two characters where they're kids on the street... they get picked up by a gang, they get an experimental drug tested on them, and it gives them superpowers, light and darkness based.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like Cloak is able to teleport people through the dark dimension he keeps inside his cloak.
Oh, wow.
And able to do other shit with it. Dagger is able to make hard light projections.
Okay. Oh, that's neat. I didn't know that. Marvel's Most Wanted is the thing that was unaired.
That's the one that only had a pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is all just little bonus things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, comic books.
Sorry, I meant this. These are little short films, these things. Like the thing with Coulson and the...
Yeah.
Yeah. Item 47, all that shit.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. This is all really well laid out.
Yep.
Now I'm psyched for Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh my god, right? Because we saw the fucking Bifrost in that. So that's probably going to be also bridging into Ragnarok.
That, yeah, very well could.
Yeah.
Do you need a hug?
Spider-Man probably won't.
No,
obviously. Spider-Man
is probably going to be a little more self-contained.
Spider-Man is probably, if it's going to overlap with anything, it's going to overlap with the Netflix shows.
Or Iron Man might show up and be like, "Hey, you did good, kid.
Hey, your aunt is hot.
Your weirdly attractive aunt, Marissa Tomei."
So we've got Iron Fist in March of 2017. We've got Spider-Man in July, which means that'll have enough time for all the Defenders to have had at least one season to themselves. Mm-hmm. We can have Spider-Man show up. Maybe he swings by and says hi to Daredevil, because reasons.
Well, I think they're going to keep movies and TV separate for now.
Okay.
As far as content goes. Right? I mean, they had some of the... They had Jamie Alexander play Sif in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right, twice, actually.
Twice.
Yeah. Well, and the whole thing with the Inhumans in S.H.I.E.L.D., in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is eventually going to get its own movie, which I'm not actually seeing on this list. Maybe they moved it.
Is it going to be... When was that announced?
Oh, I've seen title cards for that for ages. Huh. Yeah, but it was always, way the fuck down the line, so who really knows?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
No, I mean, going back to what I was saying earlier, this is just, Marvel still is just crushing it. And
yeah, I'm glad.
I think the biggest factor is that, we talked about this with Luke Cage. At least I think we did. Everyone involved in the projects have fun with it. They want to be there. They want to be part of it. They want it to be successful. Nobody is there just phoning it in or going for a paycheck.
It's also the first of its kind. The MCU is the first of its kind.
Yeah.
The first movie TV crossover universe.
Giant continuity thing. Yeah. And the fact that they're doing it so well, they're writing the book as they're writing the book on how to do this.
Right.
And other people are trying and they still can't get it right.
Well, they're trying it different ways. Like DC's trying it different ways, and that may be very well good. It may work out well. Mm. Like, Affleck's name is attached to the Batman movie.
And from what I heard, since as you pointed out, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
BVS, he was the best part of that.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Yeah. So
as far as I'm concerned, he was definitely the best part of it.
Yeah, I am actually interested in seeing his Batman. I will go see his Batman movie. But looking at clips and watching reviews of other ones, I was not fond of Man of Steel when I saw it. And the other ones just apparently are not impressing people. But then you get to the point that a lot of people are saying DC should just hit the reset button and try again. But again, you got Marvel, who's been doing this for going on a decade, has yet to fuck up.
Yeah.
That is statistically ridiculous. Can I get those odds next time I buy a lottery ticket?
No. Unfortunately not.
Yeah.
I hate that as much as anyone else does.
Yep.
Although, I will keep going to see the Marvel movies.
I will never hesitate to give them my money, because at this point they have a proven track record that they are worth my time. And actually something I'm curious about is, let's say down the road, because again, statistically it's going to happen eventually, let's say they release a shitty movie. The movie that is just outright, drop the ball, everybody fucked up, bad. What do you think's going to happen? I think at that point they're going to have enough goodwill stored up that
can be forgiven.
Exactly.
First one's free.
Right. Whereas if you already are on a rocky start and you release a crappy movie or a few crappy movies in a row, even if they're not that bad by themselves, everyone's going to be viewing them on a curve compared to your track record. So if you've been releasing mediocre to bad movies, all your movies are going to be starting with negative points.
Fair enough.
Which I think is part of the problem DC's been having.
Well, I wouldn't say they were mediocre. I do think there could have been a little bit more thought into how they were going to start the Justice League movies.
Yeah, they rushed it.
Although, I am hopeful for the Justice League. For Justice League.
And we will...
I am very hopeful.
Since we're now doing podcasting, I will actually go see that, whether I want to or not, so that I can actually podcast about it honestly.
Yeah.
And then I will drink myself stupid so that I can forget seeing it.
No, you're not going to do that.
No, I'm not going to do that. But back on track, since we are doing a Doctor Strange podcast.
No, I want to talk about BBS. BBS.
Next time.
Okay.
I will watch it so that we can talk about it.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Moment's gone.
You were saying that that DC could have taken their time with it on how they approach the Justice League. Well, Marvel is taking its time with how they approach each of these movies, particularly the origin movies.
Right.
I think Black Panther was originally going to, and Captain Marvel was definitely going to come out much sooner than that schedule's showing us. But they're realigning their schedule as needed to work with their project. They are taking their time to make sure that they treat each movie correctly. To the point that, because I got a coworker who even made a joke about it. Like, he knows nothing about comics to begin with, but he was interested in seeing Doctor Strange. He made a joke that I'll have to go see it with him so that afterwards I can explain what he just saw.
Okay.
And you don't need that. You don't need anyone to do that. You can just walk into any Marvel project and be treated to it. You don't have to see all the movies before seeing the Avengers. Does it help? Sure. Not required.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Wow, that is actually really, that's a very apt description.
Yeah, they are treating each movie the best that they can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Within reason. You can't predict everything. There was all the behind-the-scenes stuff with Ultron.
Yeah.
That is why I feel that's my bottom of the pick. Still better than most movies out there, though.
Yeah.
Because again,
Spader, love.
Hashtag
Spader love.
Yeah. Because again, they are consistently giving a fuck.
Yeah, definitely.
And it shows. It really does. I mean, it shows in everything. I stopped by for fast food on the way to see this movie, and the kid working the drive-thru had a smile on his face. That makes all the goddamn difference. Versus somebody who was just like, here's your order.
But was it because... how does that...
Meaning that he was actually putting effort into making sure he was doing his job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see the bridge there.
He wasn't just punching the buttons and counting the minutes till he got to go home. He was actually being like, look, I'm here, so I'm going to do my job.
Okay, yeah.
And that applies even more to creative, because creative, you have to invest yourself into it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah.
That's actually not a bad comparison.
On that note, what do we got for closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts? Go see it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie to go watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Genuinely. And Benedict Cumberbatch, Tilda Swinton, Mads Mikkelsen. It was fantastic.
Guy whose name we can't pronounce who played Mordo.
Yes, please forgive us. It's not.
It's not you. It's us.
It's definitely us. It's definitely not you. You had a stellar performance.
You're amazing. I love you. You know what? Let's real quick. I'm gonna look him up here on Wikipedia to see if I can get a phonetic, and I also want to see what else he's been in aside from Serenity.
Yeah.
Really quickly. He was in 2012. Oh, he was in 2012. He was the one who wouldn't shut up about the book that didn't get published.
Right, yes.
God, that fucking book. He was in The Martian.
An Oscar winner.
Yep. He's been in a decent amount of TV stuff and a lot of theater. Holy shit, like his entire theater catalog is 3/4 Shakespeare.
Right on.
He played Othello.
So is he like a traditionally trained Shakespearean actor?
At the very least, a traditional theater actor.
Yeah.
Okay. Chiwetel. How do you pronounce EJ by itself? Ejiofor.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
That's closer than we've gotten.
Yeah. Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Alright, so you were giving closing thoughts. Go see it. Amazing cast. Continue.
Great performances all around. Like you can go for the magic, stay for the movie, right?
Yeah, that is a really good way of putting it. And they start strong with that too. They start with a really strong magic scene to hook you.
Yeah, very much so.
And it also sets up the whole plot of the main thread of the movie.
Yeah, and they definitely didn't, waste all of their potential in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, they did not. Yeah.
It was tasteful.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I would say tasteful.
Yeah. And my favorite thing was the special effects. And I don't normally say that. Normally my favorite thing is like a character performance or story. All of that was great. 10 out of 10, maybe 9 out of 10 in some cases, whatever. I'm a nitpicker. But the way that every time, because you've seen it in the trailers, folks, every time they did that reality bending shit, every single time it was different. It was creative and interesting, and I do recommend seeing it in 3D, just because getting to see some of those effects and how they add to it with the 3D.
It definitely hit home.
It was so cool.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, careful if you have vertigo, because you will fucking get vertigo from this movie.
Yeah, they should have a fucking warning.
Yeah,
like they do on VR games.
Yeah,
I think they have.
Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I have yet to be outright disappointed by a Marvel project.
Yeah.
This one is continuing the trend. We're going to run out of shit to say about Marvel.
I'll be honest.
We're going to do reviews that are just like, it's as good as they ever are. Go see it. Good night.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess so.
Yeah.
I think the only one I haven't seen to date is Thor: The Dark World.
I mean, at this point, you don't need to.
Still, though.
But it's worth seeing.
I'm going to see it. I want to see it just to say, hey, I saw all the Marvel movies when they were a thing.
I actually like the first Thor more.
That's what I've heard. But I'm still going to see it.
Still good. I mean, I'm talking like half a point difference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then there's Anthony Hopkins, who's in Westworld now.
Yeah.
And Westworld. So great.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's about all we got. So once again, we are the Slapcast, the official podcast of Slap Happy Chaps. Check us out. Slap Happy Chaps on Facebook and YouTube. Check out Slapcast on YouTube as well as on SoundCloud and iTunes. 3 different places to get the podcast.
Yes, and it's all free all the time.
Yep, absolutely.
Before, we should probably talk about, just mention briefly the upcoming movie that the Slap Happy Chaps are putting out, the abridged movie.
Yeah, the one that's currently working on, not the one that we...
Yeah,
okay.
The current one.
So coming soon to a computer near you, Slap Happy Chaps present Under the Red Hood Abridged.
Batman Under the Red Hood Abridged.
Yep. We had a lot of fun recording that one, it's going to be... It's looking good.
That hurt my face.
It's looking good. Well, you were Black Mask.
Yeah, I was stupid. I destroyed my voice doing that.
Yeah. With other ones coming down the line.
Yeah.
But we can talk more about that next month's podcast.
Next month, yeah.
Because
do that.
For December's podcast, expect us the first weekend of December.
The first Monday.
Yeah. We don't have a set thing ready because there's no Marvel project like these past couple months.
There's just no big project.
Right.
That we're aware of.
So unless the Defenders drops within the next couple of weekends, it won't. We're just going to play it by ear, and we're going to talk about whatever. And one of the things will be various projects that we're doing for the YouTubes.
Yeah.
Just whatever the hell else comes to mind.
Right on.
If you all have anything that you would like to hear us talk about, not just shows and movies and whatnot. If there's questions you guys have, if you do want to say, it's like, oh, well, what do you think about this book or this movie or this game? Let us know in the comments, either on SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube, however you want to leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Definitely.
And I think that is a good place to wrap it up.
Right on.
Thank you, everybody, and good night!
Good night.